Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Jai Om Vishnupada Paramahansa Paripuracharya Ashtottara Sri Srimad AC Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj Prabhupada Ki Jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnavrinda Ki Jai, Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai, Prem Se Kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda Ki Jai, Sri Sri Radha Krishna Gopinath Shyam Mukund Radha Nikiri Govardhan Ki Jai, Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai, Navadip Dham Ki Jai, Jagannath Puri Ki Jai, Ganga Mai Ki Jai, Jamuna Mai Ki Jai, Tulsi Devi Ki Jai, Bhakti Devi Ki Jai, Samaveta Bhaktivinoda Ki Jai. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol.
Hari Hari Bol. Jai Maharaj. Thank you, Mahesh Pandit, for leading Kirtan. And welcome everyone to Srimad Bhagavatam class with His Holiness Jayadvaita Swami. Today is Monday, May 15th, 2023, and we're reading in the third canto, chapter 18, the battle between Lord Boar and the demon Hiranyaksha. We take it up again with text number 5. As always, we're eager to hear everyone's comments and questions, so please use the raise hand feature or simply unmute yourself and speak when Maharaj asks for questions, or you can type your comments into the chat window. We ask that you not send any chat messages while Maharaj is reading something there. It makes it difficult to read. And at the end of class, I'll post some links that you can share with your friends so that they can attend as well. And if anyone would like to lead the closing kirtan, send me a message in the chat. Maharaj, we are so glad that you could join us. And where are you today?
I'm in Berlin.
Berlin. Sure. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Tulsi Priya, and thank you, Mahesh Pandit Prabhu, and thank you to all. Om Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. We're starting today with 318.5, but I thought we could move back a step to 318.4. There's a question from Praveen, which Tulsi Priya can post for us, and there's some other topics also. Om Jnana Timirantasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshun Militam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manopistam Sthapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Tadati Shapadantikam Vandehang Shri Guru Shri Jatapadakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raganatan Vitam Stam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Rijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakhan Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hori Priye Vanchako Patarubhyascha Kripa Sindhobhya Vacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vashadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Well, Praveen is not here, but he can always catch up with the videos, and we'll take his question. We're looking at verse 4. Tramnasapatnara bhavaya kim prito yo mayaya hantya suran parokshajit tvam yoga maya balam alpa paurusham samstapya murtha pravarjay surich shuchaha. So, you rascal, according to Hiranyaksha, you rascal, you've been nourished by our enemies to kill us, and you have killed some demons by remaining invisible. O fool, your power is only mystic, so today I shall enliven my kinsmen by killing you. Hiranyaksha is insulting the Lord in this way. So Prabhin says, as far as I could understand, Hiranyaksha was the first batch of descendants of Diti. What does he mean by killing of his kinsmen? Now let's see. Yes, I shall enliven my kinsmen by killing you. Let's see. Is there something in the purport about killing his kinsmen? You have killed our kinsmen in so many ways, yes, in the purport. So what about this killing of kinsmen if Hiranyaksha was in the first batch? I don't really know. The Sanskrit, I believe, is Suhrid, which simply means, yes, Suhrid, Suchaha, the grief of my kinsmen. The Suhrid can simply mean friends, but so I can't answer why Prabhupada, what Prabhupada means by kinsmen here, except if it means kinsmen in that sense, like close friends were as good as kinsmen. Also, what does nourished by our enemies mean? Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says it means protected by our enemies. You've become invisible and you're protected by the demigods. So in this way, you're being tricky, but you're not a real fighter. That's essentially what's being said here, it seems. I also thought we could review, or we could take a look at a dual meaning here, an alternative meaning given by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. Again, Saraswati Vak, the goddess Saraswati, speaking through the demon in order to present a glorification of the Lord when he intends to insult the Lord. So here's that alternative meaning. Have the Devatas taken shelter of you who kill asuras by your mercy, Mayaya, in order to award me liberation? Let's see. I look at both things at once. It makes it easier to comment. To do that, I have to go here. 3, 13. 316, 5. 1, 6, 3, 5. Let's see. Where are we? Numbers. The numbers 18, 5. Yeah. So your power is only mystic. My by deception, by mystic power, you're killing our friends. But here, it's by your mercy, not by deception. By killing the demons, you give them a spiritual destination. You remain victorious, though you are invisible. Your invisibility is your greater mercy. The Devatas show themselves after a little sadhana, but you do not reveal yourself even after plenty of sadhana. So you remain invisible. After fixing my mind on you, who have inconceivable powers, Yoga Maya Balam, and who make Mahavishnu insignificant, Alpapurusham, I will completely destroy Pramrajay, the suffering of material existence, Shucha, of my friends, since you liberate even the friends of those who remember you. O Lord, you show satisfaction with the fools by giving them your bhakti, murta. So, Alpapurusham, your power is meager, but Saraswati makes that you are greater even than the Purusha, Mahavishnu. You make him even insignificant. And Yogamaya Balam, it's simply, how does Prabhupada put it in the translation? Your power is only mystic, Yogamaya Balam. But here you have inconceivable powers, Yogamaya Balam. Okay, now scrolling down. Good. Anything else here? Okay. Now we move on. Vayi samstate gadaya shirna shirshan yasmad puja chutaya ye chatubhyam valim haranturishayo ye chadeva swayam sarvena bhavishyantyamula. The demon continued, when you fall dead with your skull smashed by the mace hurled by my arms, the demigods and sages who offer you oblations and sacrifice in devotional service will also automatically cease to exist like trees without roots. Purport. Demons are very much disturbed when devotees worship the Lord in the prescribed ways recommended in the scriptures. That we see let Prabhupada comment further. In the Vedic scriptures, the neophyte devotees are advised to engage in 9 kinds of devotional service, such as to hear and chant the holy name of God, to remember him always, to chant on beads, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. To worship the Lord in the form of his deity incarnation in the temples, and to engage in various activities of Krishna consciousness, to increase the number of godly persons for perfect peace in the world. Demons do not like such activity. They're always envious of God and his devotees. Their propaganda, not to worship in the temple or church, but simply to make material advancement for satisfaction of the senses, is always current. The demon Hiranyaksha, upon seeing the Lord face to face, wanted to make a permanent solution by killing the personality of Godhead with his powerful mace. The example of an uprooted tree mentioned here by the demon is very significant. Devotees accept that God is the root of everything. Their example is that just as the stomach is the source of energy of all the limbs of the body, God is the original source of all energy manifested in the material and spiritual worlds. Therefore, as supplying food to the stomach is the process to satisfy all the limbs of the body, Krishna consciousness, or developing love of Krishna, is the sublime method for satisfying the source of all happiness. The demon wants to uproot this source, because if the root, God, were to be checked, the activities of the Lord and the devotees would automatically stop. The demon would be very much satisfied by such a situation in society. Demons are always anxious to have a godless society for their sense gratification. According to Jayadvaita Swami, this verse means that when the demon would be deprived of his mace by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, not only the neophyte devotees, but also the ancient sagacious devotees of the Lord would be very much satisfied. The preachers all have experience of demons who become irate when there's spreading of the glories of Krishna. This is the demonic mentality. What is that? Sthane rishikesha tava prakirtya jagat pravishyat janarajyate cha rakshansi bhitani tisho javanti namo namasyanti tanchasita sarvaha. In the 11th chapter, when Krishna was showing the universal form, the Arjuna offered this prayer, Sthane rishikesha tava prakirtya jagat pravishyat janarajyate cha. My dear Lord, the whole, everything you do is right, and the whole world becomes joyful by hearing your glories. Tava prakirtya, by your glories, the prakirtya, the vigorous or glorious distribution of your glories, the whole world becomes joyful. Jagat parishyati, anurajyate cha. They become happy by hearing your name. But the rakshansi bhitani, tisho javanti, but the rakshasas become fearful and scatter in all directions. Namo namasyanti chasiddhasa sangha. And the siddhas all offer you their obeisances. We see often kirtan parties going down the street and the demons cover their ears or go to the other side of the street, making a big show of it because they want to deride the kirtan. And similarly, book distribution. They sometimes oppose the book distributors just because they can't stand to see this distribution of Krishna consciousness. And they want, as Prabhupada said, godlessness. There's a whole contingent of people who work hard to dismiss God consciousness as sentimental, as just religious fanaticism, and so on. And they want their program of sense gratification and material reductionism. So the program of Hiranyaksha was to kill the Lord, and then the devotees would also die. That's mentioned also in Krishna book. Who was that? The demon was thinking that I'll kill the Krishna and the cowherd boys, and the parents will automatically die. That demon was thinking that way. So such are the demons. I'll uproot the tree, and the branches and leaves will all perish. And again, there's an opposite meaning here that let's see, going back to the verse, Kindles are not good for going back and forth. Let's see. Yeah, when you're killed, the demigods and the rishis will automatically die. So there's an alternative meaning that the demon, instead of killing the Lord with his mace, would be deprived of his mace by the Lord, and not only the neophyte devotees but also the ancient rishis would be very much satisfied. Chakravarti Thakur says, when your skull is not cracked by a club released from my hand, the recent devotees who offer you homage at this time, as well as the ancient devatas, devotees, and sages, will spontaneously, swayam, no longer be unsteady. Amula. Okay. And Tulsi Priya asks, what does Srila Prabhupada mean by perfect peace in the world? When I see Krishna consciousness increasing in the world, I also see the symptoms of Kali Yuga increasing. And I cannot conceive when or how we could have perfect peace in this world before the next Satya Yuga. Let's see what Prabhupada. Is that from this verse in purport, Tulsi Priya, or is that a general question?
Yes, Maharaj, it's in the purport. It's in the first paragraph of the purport, just after the Mahamantra.
Okay.
A couple of lines after the Mahamantra.
Oh, yeah. Right. To increase the number of godly persons for perfect peace in the world. Well, there may be some time when there's perfect peace during Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's expansion of the Sankirtan movement, or you can take it, I don't know if this is what's intended, but at least in part of the world, there'll be perfect peace, just as we say there's there's anything. There's a disaster in the world because there's a disaster in Fiji or something. So there's perfect peace in the world because there are large numbers, as there ought to be, of peaceful devotees living in Krishna consciousness. So I'm just looking at the grammar here of the statement. Yes. If anyone has any better or additional realizations about this, feel free to chime in.
Well, at least the individuals who are Krishna conscious can have perfect peace.
Yes, individuals and the communities or societies of devotees, which can be and should be large and expansive.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Satujyamanori durukta tomarai tam stragragam gam upalaksha pitam todam rashan niragad ambu madhyad rahahata sakaru karenur yate baha. Although the Lord was pained by the shaft-like abusive words of the demon, he bore the pain. But seeing that the earth on the ends of his tusks was frightened, he rose out of the water just as an elephant emerges with its female companion when assailed by an alligator. Purport: the Mayavadi philosopher cannot understand that the Lord has feelings. The Lord is satisfied if someone offers him a nice prayer. And similarly, if someone decries his existence or calls him by ill names, God is dissatisfied. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is decried by the Mayavadi philosophers, who are almost demons. They say that God has no head, no form, no existence, and no legs, hands, or other bodily limbs. In other words, they say he's dead or lame. All these misconceptions of the Supreme Lord are a source of dissatisfaction to him. He's never pleased with such atheistic descriptions. In this case, although the Lord felt sorrow from the piercing words of the demon, he delivered the earth for the satisfaction of the demigods, wherever his devotees. The conclusion is that God is as sentient as we are. He is satisfied by our prayers and dissatisfied by our harsh words against him. In order to give protection to his devotee, he's always ready to tolerate insulting words from the atheists. The Prabhupada indicates here that we feel pained or dissatisfied when we're abused verbally. And the Lord also has similar feelings. Janmadyasya, he's the origin of everything. So he has feelings also. He's pleased when the devotees glorify him, and dissatisfied when the demons criticize him. But he's unlimitedly tolerant also. He, yes, puts up with it. The Mayavadis are Prabhupada casts in the role of demons, where they deserve to be considered in the same category as the demons, because they essentially insult the Lord by saying that he has no personal existence, or that he's, as Prabhupada said, deaf, lame, blind, and so on. Yes. Again, there's an alternative meaning given by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. The Lord was pained by compassion, seeing the pain in Brahma and others who heard those words. He was victorious by the happiness gained through the praise uttered by the enemy. He was like an elephant emerging from the water, uninjured by a crocodile. All right, Tulsi Priya, you have a hand up.
Maharaj, I wanted to know if this might be another way of looking at it, and if it's correct or not. I was thinking that if a stranger insults us, we're not so affected by it. You know, somebody says something bad to us and we don't care about them, we don't know them, but everybody is connected to Krishna, and everybody is, I guess, at heart a devotee, or meant to be a devotee. So if we are insulted by a friend or a family member, then we're hurt. So I was just wondering if, because everyone is connected to Krishna and essentially a devotee, that, you know, to hear them speak in ways that doesn't honor that relationship, that would be painful, just as we feel bad if a loved one or a friend insults us.
Yeah, that's a nice realization, nice thought, that these are not just people out of nowhere. They're the Lord's eternal servants, or his eternal children. But by the influence of illusion, they're insulting him, they're decrying him. Yeah. Okay. Anything else? Nissarantam Shalilad Anujuto Hiranya Kesho Dviradam Yata Chesaha Karala Dangstro Shani Ishvano Bravid Katashriyam Kim Vasatam Vigarhitam. The demon, who had golden hair on his head and fearful tusks, gave chase to the Lord while he was rising from the water, even as an alligator would chase an elephant. Roaring like thunder, he said, "Are you not ashamed of running away before a challenging adversary? There's nothing reproachable for a shameless creature." Purport. When the Lord was coming out of the water, taking the earth in his arms to deliver it, the demon derided him with insulting words. But the Lord didn't care, because he was very conscious of his duty. For a dutiful man, there's nothing to fear. Similarly, those who are powerful have no fear of derision or unkind words from an enemy. The Lord had nothing to fear from anyone, yet he was merciful to his enemy by neglecting him. Although apparently he fled from the challenge It was just to protect the earth from calamity that he tolerated Hiranyaksha's deriding words. The Lord tolerated the insults because he was engaged in saving the earth. He wasn't going to divert attention to the demon and his insults. The Prabhupada had a common saying, the dogs will bark and the caravan will pass. So the Lord treated the demon with indifference in that way. And you go on insulting me, who cares about you? That's what we see here. And it appeared that he fled from the challenge, but really he was attending to the welfare of the earth. We see also that Krishna flees the battlefield as Ranchorji, but really it's to attend to a message from Rukmini Devi. So the Lord has his priorities. The demons think that his first priority should be to answer their insults. Come on, why aren't you answering? Are you afraid? Do you have nothing to say? And the devotees or the Lord may simply have other priorities. Why should we waste our time dealing with a puny demon like you, insignificant demon like you? Again, there's an alternative meaning. Can there be criticism of those who are merciful and modest? Those who, being merciful, flee for the purpose of protecting the earth, who has taken shelter of your tusks, should not be criticized. Or there's another meaning, thinking it was improper to pursue the Lord who was lifting the earth for helping the populace. The demon criticizes himself. Is there censure for me, a demon, dedicated to my own pleasure, devoid of shame? No, there is not. How unfortunate I am. So these are all alternative meanings grammatically derived by the acharyas like Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. Also, this dangstra, the tusks, comes up also in the 11th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, dangstra karalani, dangstra karalani, something mukani. It can mean tusks, it can mean teeth also. Dangstra karalani, bayanakani. Yeah, you're fearful. Teeth or tusks. All the soldiers are rushing into your mouths and they're being churnitayar utamangai. Their bodies are being turned to powder by your awesome and terrible form. Sagam udastad shalilasya gochare Vinyasya tasyam aditatsva sattvam abhishtuto vishva srija prashunar apuryamano vibudhai pashatore. The Lord placed the earth within his sight on the surface of the water and transferred to her his own energy in the form of the ability to float on the water. While the enemies stood looking on, Brahma the creator of the universe, extolled the Lord, and the other demigods rained flowers on him. Purport: those who are demons cannot understand how the Supreme Personality of Godhead floated the earth on water. But to devotees of the Lord, this was not a very wonderful act. Not only the earth, but many, many millions of planets are floating in the air, and this floating power is endowed upon them by the Lord. There's no other possible explanation. The materialists can explain that the planets are floating by the laws of gravitation. The law of gravitation works under the control or direction of the Supreme Lord. That is the version of Bhagavad Gita, which confirms by the Lord's statement that behind the material laws or nature's laws, and behind the growth, maintenance, and production and evolution of all these planetary systems, behind everything is the Lord's direction. The Lord's activities could be appreciated only by the demigods headed by Brahma. And therefore, when they saw the uncommon prowess of the Lord in keeping the earth on the surface of the water, they showered flowers on him in appreciation of his transcendental activity. The demons deriding the Lord, challenging him, you're a coward, you don't want to fight with me. But the devotees are appreciating the Lord is performing his pastimes, protecting the earth. This is the difference between the devotees and the demons. Vishnu Bhakta Smita Daiva Asurastad Viparya. Mayajakshena Prakriti Suyate Saturachram. Behind all the laws of nature is the supervision of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The Lord, Brahma and the demigods praised Lord Bor. There was no praise for Hiranyaksha. He didn't get anything, no flowers rained on him, no words of praise. They were reserved for the personality of Godhead, even though he was appearing in the form of a boar, a hog. He was getting all the praise, and Hiranyaksha was neglected. Okay, anything else? Ranu Shaktam Tapaniyo Pakolpam Bhagadam Kanchana Chitradangsham Ramanya Pikshnam Pratudantam Duruktai Prachanda Manyu Prahasangstam Papashe. The demon, who had a wealth of ornaments, bangles, and beautiful golden armor on his body, chased the Lord from behind with a great mace. The Lord tolerated his piercing ill words, but in order to reply to him, he expressed his terrible anger. Purport: the Lord could have chastised the demon immediately, while the demon was deriding the Lord with ill words. But the Lord tolerated him to please the demigods and to show that they should not be afraid of demons while discharging their duties. Therefore, his toleration was displayed mainly to drive away the fears of the demigods, who should know that the Lord is always present to protect them. The demon's derision of the Lord was just like the barking of dogs. The Lord did not care about it, since he was doing his own work in delivering the earth from the midst of the water.
Looks like we lost Maharaj. I was just going to ask if he was frozen for others. Yeah, he was frozen for me, and I thought he was just pausing over the reading, and then I realized he wasn't moving at all. So I guess we can wait a moment and see if he's able to reconnect.
Mother Tulsi Priya, where
Hi,
did Maharaj
Krishna.
say? Where did Maharaj say he's staying now?
He's in Berlin.
Okay, thank you.
Hi, Krishna. Yeah. He's not on in another minute. I would think that maybe he's not going to be able to get on, and we can close with Kirtan. But let's wait and see. It doesn't look like he's able to get back on.
Maybe we should have Kirtan, and then if he gets back on, he gets back on.
That's right. So would you like to lead Kirtan? Are you parked? Only if you're parked, please, Prabhu.
No, I'm not parked. I'm driving.
Okay. There's Krishna Kunteya, Haridas Prabhu, Madhupati, Mukunda Charan.
Okay, I will look the Kirtan. Jai.
Jai.
Let me get the Kirtan 1 minute. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Deshitarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Radha Shiva Sadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Radha Shiva Sadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Guru Premanande.
Hari Hari Bol. Thank you, Prabhu. Would you please recite the Prema Dwani prayers while I take care of some of it?
Jaya Vishnupat Paramasya Parvadikacharya Statara Sada Srimad Divine Grace Sri Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jaya Vishnupat Paramasya Parvadikacharya Statara Sada Srimad Divine Grace Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj Goswami Prabhupada Ki Jai. आनंद कोटि वैष्णविंद की जय नाभिचार हरिदास ठाकुर की जय प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवसदि गौर भक्तविंद की जय जय श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप कपिनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धनाथ जी की जय वृंदावन धाम की जय मायापुर धाम की जय नीलाचल क्षेत्र से जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जय भक्ति देवी की जय गंगा मैया यमुना की जय श्रीमती तुलसी महारानी की जय बृहद टंसन मुक्त सुभिशान की जय हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय समवेत भक्त वृंद की जय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि 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 बोल ग्लोरीज टू असम्बल्ड डिवोटीज ग्लोरीज टू असम्बल्ड डिवोटीज ग्लोरीज टू असम्बल्ड ग्लोरीज टू श्री श्री गुरु एंड गौरांग हरि हरि बोल.
Jai Prabhu, thank you so much for leading Kirtan and chanting the prayers. And thank you to everyone for joining us tonight. Please share those class links with your friends, and I hope we can see you all again tomorrow. Wednesday, for Srimad Bhagavatam class with His Holiness Jayadvaita Swami. And I'm sorry we lost him so abruptly. I hope the technical issues will be settled by tomorrow. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. His Holiness Jayadvaita Swami Maharaj ki jai. Samaveda Bhaktivinoda ki jai. Gaur Premanandi. Hari Hari Bol.
Thanks, Madhupati Prabhu. Thank you, Mother Tulsi Priya.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you, guys.
Here you go.
Good night. Hare Krishna.